You know that feeling. You're not sad, you're not a failure, but something feels off, like your real life is happening somewhere else and you're just watching from a distance. You're smart enough to know what you could do, but somehow you're not doing it. And the worst part? You don't know why. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why that feeling keeps coming back, and why the people who finally break out of it don't do it by trying harder. But there's something else. That feeling you just recognized, that quiet gap between who you are and who you could be, it might not mean what you think it means. Hold on to that. We'll come back to it. Here's how the day usually goes. You wake up. Before you even get out of bed, you've already seen 3 people your age doing something impressive, building something, launching something, becoming something. You close the app, lie there, and feel it, that hollow, heavy feeling. You tell yourself, today is different. You open a new tab, maybe a course, maybe a blank document. You type a little, and for a moment, it feels like things are moving. Then something small happens. A notification, a task, a moment where you just don't feel like it anymore. And by night, nothing is really changed. This isn't about laziness. You know that, because lazy people don't feel this. They don't care enough to feel this. What's happening inside is more specific. You feel the gap between what you know you're capable of and what you're actually doing. And that gap doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it feels like evidence against you, like maybe you had a chance and you're quietly ruining it. But what if the gap isn't evidence of failure? What if it's evidence of something else entirely? Step 1. Make it so small it feels stupid. The brain avoids what feels big and high stakes, so the answer is to make it genuinely, almost embarrassingly small. Not write the chapter, write 1 sentence. Not start the business, send 1 message. This works because small actions don't trigger the fear response. They slip under the alarm. And once you take that tiny step, your brain updates its record. That was safe. Next time, there's just a little less resistance. Real-life example. Instead of opening a blank document and feeling overwhelmed, open it and write today's date. That's it. Close it. You showed up. The emotional insight here? Starting is its own proof. It's evidence that you're not who you were afraid you might be. Step 2. Stop tying your identity to your output. This one runs deep. When you believe your worth comes from what you produce, every failed attempt feels like a failed you. So you stop attempting. Not because you're giving up, but because it feels too risky. The people who make consistent progress don't think of themselves as people who succeed. They think of themselves as people who try things. That one shift changes how failure feels. It goes from a verdict to just information. Small action shift. When you catch yourself thinking, I need to prove I can do this, replace it with, I'm just finding out what happens. One is terrifying. The other is almost curious. Step 3. See comparison for what it actually is. When you see someone else achieving something and feel that familiar ache, that's not inspiration. That's your brain running a threat check. And the comparison is always unfair. You're measuring their visible highlight against your invisible struggle. You see their result. You feel your doubt. Of course it feels like you're losing. Real-life example. You see someone post that they finished a project. You think, why can't I do that? But you don't see the 3 months they quietly worked before that. You don't see the days they also didn't feel like it. Micro action. Next time comparison hits, ask yourself one thing. Am I running towards something I want, or running from the fear that I'm falling behind? The first builds. The second just exhausts you. Step 4. Collect small proof, not big wins. Your brain doesn't change because of inspiration. It changes because of evidence. When you hear a great quote or watch a motivating video, you feel something for a little while. But the threat response in your brain doesn't update. It updates through experience, through doing something and surviving it, through trying and finding out it was okay. That's why some people seem to suddenly become productive. Nothing changed in a moment. They just slowly built up quiet evidence over weeks, over months, until the break in their brain finally loosened. Small action. Don't keep a goal list. Keep an attempt list. Every time you try something, even if it goes nowhere, write it down. This trains your brain to value movement over arrival. Emotional insight. Progress that no one sees is still progress. Your brain is watching, even when no one else is. Step 5. Let go of the person you were supposed to be by now. This is the hardest one. Part of the weight you're carrying isn't just about the future. It's about a past version of yourself, the one who had it all figured out by 25 or 30 or whatever age felt like the deadline. The one who didn't waste the years you feel like you wasted. That version of you was never real. It was an idea. And holding on to that idea means every real step forward will always feel like a consolation prize. Small shift. Ask yourself, if I remove the pressure of I should be further ahead by now, what would I actually want to build from here? Not to catch up, just from here. That question changes the whole direction. The simple model to remember. Here's the one image to keep. Your potential is not a fixed thing you either use or waste. It's a relationship between what feels safe and what you're willing to try. Make more things feel safe, and your potential becomes available, not because you suddenly have more of it, but because you stop hiding it from yourself. Remember that moment at the very start, that quiet, uncomfortable feeling of a gap between who you are and who you could be? That feeling isn't a verdict, it's a signal. It's the part of you that hasn't given up, the part that still believes something is possible. The people who break out of this pattern don't do it by becoming fearless. They do it by building enough small evidence that fear stops being the loudest voice in the room. Quiet closing thought. You're not wasting your potential. You're protecting it. The way you protect something you're not sure you're ready to carry yet. But the only way to find out if you can carry it is to pick it up. Start small. Start today. Start without needing it to mean anything yet. The version of you that you keep imagining, they didn't arrive all at once. They just kept taking the next small step, even when nothing felt like it was working. You can do that. You already are.